Alright, good evening ladies. In today's video I want to go through one of the most important theses that I've come up with in this bull cycle, and that is the Zoomer folio. I've been talking about this for, I don't know, six months, maybe like 8 months. You can see from this tweet, I've been talking about the Zoomer folio for a while now, and two of these coins, like Giga at that point I would think it was 1 million or 2 million, that's like 600 million now, so that's 300x. Sigma wasn't even out yet. But all of these other Zoomer TikTok memes, they haven't really done much yet. However, I want to explain why I think a lot of these Zoomer memes, all these TikTok memes, are going to go absolutely insane in this bull cycle. As you probably realize, we're coming into the part of the bull cycle where things start to get a little bit crazy and a lot of new and fresh retail come in, and they're the most naive, they're the most likely to hold on to their bags until absolutely astronomical prices and never sell and round trip it completely. And I think the majority, or not the majority, but a lot of the fresh retail are going to be the Zoomers, the TikTokers, who were too young to get involved in crypto in the last couple of cycles. But they're starting to come into their, late teens and early 20s, and they're starting to have some jobs, they're starting to have a bit of money, and they're going to go for these memes that they recognize and these memes that are being shared all over TikTok that have an insane amount of virality and an insane amount of attention. But all the people on crypto Twitter are all old. I know I'm a millennial, I'm 28, so a lot of these phrases, a lot of these TikTok memes, I had to look up, I had to find out what they were. So we're going to go through all of them. I'm going to share some of the most interesting ones to me and what I've learned, what they are. But first, we're looking at some of the performance of some of these meme coins over the last few months. And you can see stuff like Giga and Lock-In, Retardio, Popcat. These are all new cycle memes, and they're kind of in between Gen Z and millennials in the form that Giga Chat is an old meme, but it's not like a Doge. Doge is like a boomer meme. That's been around for donkeys and donkeys of years. And Bonk is a really, really old meme. So the millennial memes are outperforming the boomer memes so far in this cycle. And if we extend that, I think the Gen Z or the Zoomer memes will outperform the millennial memes. So that's the memes that have the most attention now, that are actually popping off now on TikTok. So it's apps like Moonshot and it's apps like TikTok that are spreading and creating these extremely viral memes that maybe if you're a bit older, you've no idea, you haven't heard of any of them. But yeah, they're gaining a lot of virality and attention, and I think that's where you need to be looking in this cycle. So this is a cool little chart that, if you want to follow this account on Twitter, Meme Raider TK, put together. Now this is a little bit outdated. I think the screenshot's maybe like a month old, so it might not be exactly accurate, the market caps anymore. But we can kind of see the amount of attention, the amount of shares on TikTok in comparisons to the market cap. So the market caps are the bars in green, and the amount of attention is the bars in purple. And as you can see, Sigma at that time, a month ago, looked like, oh, this has loads of attention on TikTok, but only has a 40 million market cap. Well, now Sigma is 3x'd, so it's starting to catch up with that. But I was been talking about Sigma for a good while now, and it's one of my bigger Zoomer plays after Giga. But what are some of the ones that have a lot of attention but a low market cap? We can see from this little chart that Riz looks potentially very undervalued. Winter Arc looks potentially undervalued. Mewing, Cook, all of these ones with Cook maybe doesn't have that much attention, but Riz seems to have a lot of attention. Mewing seems to have a decent amount of attention in comparisons to its market cap. Manifest, Aura seems about fairly valued maybe. So that's just kind of like an idea. You need to be downloading TikTok. Well, you don't need to be, but if you want to be in on this trend early and find coins early, you can be on TikTok. You can see what kind of trends are popping off, and if you think any have a little bit of sticking power are going to retain attention for the next couple of months or even for the rest of the year and grow in virality and attention, and there isn't a coin yet, or the coin is very low market cap, that's the kind of thing you want to be looking for. The next thing you want to be looking for in these Zoomer meme coins, these Gen Z meme coins, these Gen Z attention memes, is can a cult be formed around one of these memes? For example, I think Mewing that could get like a cult following, because people who are mewers or people who are mewing all the time, like you can kind of see how a group could form around that idea and around that trend. So maybe some of them a cult couldn't really be formed around. So you kind of want to keep in the back of your head, what could a cult form around? That's why Giga and GigaChad, the GigaChad meme coin, as well as Sigma really popped off, because it's very clear that people want to be a GigaChad or they want to be a Sigma male. And also Sigma, I think the Zoomers say like, what the Sigma? And I have no idea what that means really, but they say it all the time and it's some Zoomer phrase. So with those two, you can see easily how a cult was formed around those ideas. The other thing you want to watch out for is an active Twitter, an active community. You don't want to be buying any of these coins from a project that's like kind of abandoned it. So like I was looking at mewing, it seems like the Twitter page is still posting and still being somewhat active. So that's going to help a community and a cult to be formed around that idea. So we're going to go through all my favorite Zoomer meme coins and make sure if there's any other TikTok phrases or trends popping off or Zoomer meme coins that you like, leave them in the description or leave them in the comments so I can check them out. But we're going to go through all the ones that I know of, and yeah, we're going to go from the safest ones to the most degenerate, highest potential returns, because yeah, I think some of these can be 100x, 1000x, whatever. Like I think there's huge potential in this small little niche that we're carving out here. Obviously, my biggest bags in this kind of trend are Giga, Sigma, and Lock-in, and they're kind of, like I said, millennial terms, not really so much Zoomer terms. And because most people on crypto Twitter are millennials, and that's the main cohort of people trading meme coins right now, those coins have done really well. But when the new crowd comes in, a lot of Zoomers will be coming in, and they might see, you know, Lock-in at 100 million and Giga at 600 million and be like, okay, I like those memes, I'll buy a little bit. But this phrase that I use all the time, that me and my friends use in high school or whatever, that's really popping off on TikTok, and it's only a 10 million market cap. That could go 100x. So that's how you want to think, like, who are your exit liquidity in this scenario? And it's very, very clear who the exit liquidity is here. And these guys are going to be, you know, really, really naive and think that they can make a million X on their favorite TikTok trend or just buy it because it's funny. And that's perfect for us. Another one that's kind of died down a little bit, but was trending on TikTok a while ago. Maybe it's already dead, but Aura was another one that you have unlimited Aura, you have 1 million Aura points. So you kind of have to be able to look up on TikTok and look up on Google Trends some of these meme phrases and see if they're still growing in popularity and attention or if they're dying off. Here we can see Aura, for example, still has a similar interest, it hasn't really died off, and the same amount of interest as Sigma, but is a way lower market cap. Another one that's actually starting to come back a little bit is Riz, and we talked about that at the start, that it seems very undervalued for the amount of attention it has on TikTok. So Riz is basically short for charisma, so charisma, and it's basically how good you are at chatting up girls. So obviously Sigma already is very high market cap, Riz is a low market cap, Mewing is a low market cap, so they have higher upside potential, but we need to see a cult being formed around them. And then a really, really degen one that got shared to me, but is a really big thing in the Zoomer community because the Zoomers care so much about their looks now. They're like completely obsessed with it. The teenage boys, they're all about this thing called looksmaxing, which is maxing out your looks and reaching your aesthetic potential. Doing all this kind of mewing stuff, training your jaw, training your eyes, this kind of thing, and you know, making your hair nice. I don't know, a little bit gay, but that's what they're into. That's what the new Zoomers are trying to be like. So I have this extremely low market cap one called looksmaxing. So I'll leave the contract address for all these coins in the description, but obviously that's like a really, 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 really low market cap. So that's a 0 or 1000x kind of play. So be careful with that. However, you know, the Twitter is active and it does have cult-like opportunity in the fact that all the Zoomers are crazy about looksmaxing, and it's a completely viral trend. If you look up YouTube videos, there's like millions and millions of views on these YouTube videos on how to looksmax. And this is what all the new young guys are doing to, I looked into it as well, and some interesting stuff in there on how to improve your aesthetics. So I think potentially a cult could get formed around that, and if it does, that's a 1000x play right there. Some other ones you can look out for, I don't even know if there's coins for these, but Delulu, Gyat, I just looked up Zoomer phrases. Gooning, I won't tell you what that means because it's not appropriate. And another kind of mid-cap Zoomer phrase that's really been popping off, and it's actually doing quite well on, is skibbity. And I don't really know what this meme is all about, so I don't own any of it, but skibbity toilet. And yeah, this seems obviously for the really young crowd, and it's completely viral. I don't know how long this meme can last, so you also want to be buying meme coins, buying memes that are going to have attention over the course of a year. So like Giga Chad is an example of a meme that has stuck around for years and years, and people are still using that meme. That's ideally what you want when you're buying into one of these TikTok Zoomer memes. It's still going to have a lot of attention in 6 months or 12 months time. So I think Skibbity has been around for a while. I think a lot of the ones I mentioned are still quite topical, like mewing and looksmaxing. I think both are really still trendy things that are in that Zoomer sphere. But again, not all of these TikTok and Zoomer phrases are going to last. Some of them are just going to be, trendy for a while and then die off slowly. So you want to be able to monitor if thing is gaining attention or if it's losing attention over time. And yeah, that should be one of the signals for you whether to invest in it or not. And so that's kind of an intro onto my thesis on the Zoomer folio. I'm going to start creating a little bag of these coins, and they're either 0 or 100x or even potentially higher, that I want to have a little bit in them over the next 6 to 12 months. And yeah, when fresh retail, as they come into this bull cycle, I think that's some of the places that they're going to be looking at. So monitor stuff on TikTok, monitor what's going on YouTube with the younger crowd. Ask your younger brother, ask your younger cousin or whatever, if there's any new memes, new TikToks that are popping off. I remember Hammy, Sad Hamster, that was going viral for a while, but I think it's kind of died off now. Same with Pedro, that was popping off, that had so many views, but again, it's died off now, it's not really trendy anymore. So make sure you're able to spot what has sticking potential and what is really gaining a lot of momentum and attention. So thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.